All right. Well, good morning. It is September 9th, 2025. Today in the markets, I am looking for calls to get to the previous week's high, which is going to be this guy right here. Um, Sorry, I lied. Not intentionally, but 583. So if I go to the weekly chart, which is actually what I'm on right now, so never mind. I was right um, the first time. So right here, 581, but I am one to break it down to go to the daily chart after because this black line right here, the wick consequent encroachment, is the all-time high candle, this wick right here from the high to the close of this candle, the midpoint of that. And so you can see how we're kind of hovering around this line right now, but we just made some really good expansion right here, which is great to see, especially for these longs. Today, this is now 1 minute chart. This is now a 1 minute chart from the open to the high when we got to the wick consequent encroachment, retracement right back into this fair value gap. Back up to clear this liquidity. Small retracement after the reject of the liquidity clear. And now we're on our way back. So we want to keep seeing these liquidity pools get taken out and new highs. Right now I'm I'm sorry, I can't speak this morning. I'm sitting on a 581 call, which cost me an average of $57 for two contracts. I got one at 65, $66, right at this candle, impulsively, which is not my proudest, but I also bought a second one at this 1035 candle. And yeah, I do want to see all this happen before 11 o'clock. That's my little window. I spent 30 minutes in the market and then get out and go about my day. So I'm going to pause the recording here and let the tape reading commence. Or actually, I'm going to let the tape reading commence. I'm just not going to talk as much. So my contract's currently up about 25% right now. It's sitting at 73 dollars when I got in at 57 again, so about $30 in profit. Um, it'd be nice to sell right here, but I know that price is wanting to head to this previous week high, and I'm holding until it does so. If I really wanted to, I could sell one right here for $15, but it is much more rewarding to reward your patience after knowing what's right and seeing it through to the end. I love to see a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency left here, a fair value gap in that form. Okay, here we go. It's another PD array, premium discount array. So we might see price seek into this little gap right here. Yeah. Now this is very bullish price action. And we want to see when price reaches into these areas, you want to see it bounce back up relatively strong. Okay. Full rebalance of that fair value gap right here that we created from the low to the high. Good candle closure. Now this candle is pretty important. Let's just watch and observe. We got 50 seconds. Contract still hanging around the same price. Okay, drop down. So now that we've closed over this PD array, you want to see a closure back on top of it, because now we don't want to see it act as bearish price action. So as it's touching it right here, you want to see it shoot through. And then ultimately get back on top of this candle right here. A closure over that yellow line that I just created would be phenomenal. That's beautiful that we've gone on top of it. Now we just want closure. Okay, it doesn't look like we're going to get the closure. What we do want to see now in this next candle is this fair value gap once again. Hold price. Bounce back up. And we want to see new highs. You want to see this candle. You want to see every single candle make a new high than the previous candle. And that's pretty basic theory. I mean, it's obvious that you kind of want to see that, but that just marks very bullish market structure. You look at when price is going down, we have an inside range candle right here, which means it doesn't go, it's inside the range of the previous candle. This one's an outside range candle, which means it goes outside the range of this previous candle. But then you're looking at constant new lows in the previous candle being made. Look at here, 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 all the way to right here to get to the bottom of this fair value gap. And then once it turns around, sorry, my alarm. Once it turns around, same thing. High, high, order blocks, new high, new high, new high, very fast. Okay. Now it looks like we're just chopping around, which is technically true. For the past 5 minutes, we've been in chop. And this is where the patience factor comes in. You have to be comfortable with seeing your price fluctuate up and down, you know, gaining $10, losing $10. Your finger is itchy, it wants to pull that trigger. You need to be able to look at this and say, okay, there's a lot of relative equal highs right here. We have liquidity from a larger time frame right here, and it's seeking that liquidity. Therefore, it is going to go there. It's just a matter of time. And now it should start in these next 20 minutes right here. Okay, it's now completely shot through this order block. So 1, 2, 3 PD arrays have been shot through. Now we're hovering around the wick consequent encroachment of that weekly time frame. This is another big one that I'm looking at. We want to see it stay above it for sure. Our contracts are currently back to break even. There's a volume imbalance in between these two candles, which I want to see it shoot through. Right now, we're seeing it in the inverse fashion, where it is respecting it in a bearish way. All right, so now you think about in the aspect of an hourly candle. I'll bring you over here. At 10:30 right here, we have the open. We have the low of the hour right here and the high right over here. And this is what it looks like, this very recent candle, the most recent candle. Look at the 9:30 candle, very bright, expansive. This 10:30 candle hasn't really done much yet. Making a new high from here gives me all the confidence in the world that price is going to end up where we have said it's going to go. Futures is almost there as well. I'm always watching both sides of the spectrum. Here's another fair value gap. So this whole region right here, bullish. And when I say bullish, I don't mean buy that, but we want to see these areas be respected. So a small tap and then return back if this is indeed bullish structure. Right now we're struggling to get through on the other side now. This volume imbalance. See how it's tapping it right now, kind of coming back. We want to see it shot right through here. And I wouldn't expect it to really happen in the next 5 minutes because we are closing up that hourly candle in the NASDAQ. Why is this like this? Oh, that's kind of cool. They have overnight and then New York. So yeah, NASDAQ's about to create a new hour in the next 4 minutes. So you can see though, like NASDAQ, when you go to the minute, it's reaching. It's reaching. QQQ needs to be doing the same. So we look over to the left right here, and they're about 20 handles away from that liquidity pool, which is the equivalent of about 50 points, 50 cents in the QQQ. And let me tell you, 20 handles, that's nothing. It's gonna reach up there so quickly, especially during this New York session and the time that we're in. It wants it extremely bad. Okay. And then here comes the close of the hour. So now we're not, see how we're not closing at the very high of the hour, which is very rare. I mean, this candle is an exception, which, holy crap, what happened on Friday? What the heck? But yeah, if you notice, like all these candles are closing a little bit away from where they opened, so not really surprised by that. This candle I don't like. It's just, one of the more extravagant pairs. And I don't like how it closed over that wick consequent encroachment. And now we're getting more bearish market structure. So we might see this liquidity taken out right here. Contracts now saying at minus, I would say negative 15%, close to 20. Yep, now 18. Here's the start of the new hour. I might buy one more contract right here, just as it clears the liquidity pool. What the fuck? This is new. This is how long I haven't been in the markets, because why is there still 9 minutes left on an hourly candle? What? Alright, anyway. Here's the areas we need to get over. This SIBI, as well as this volume imbalance. See how we kind of got past that, but we didn't close over it? We want closure over this blue line right here. That type of reaction is just very adverse to our goal. So SPY is the one that's actually holding us up right now. We opened a lot lower than QQQ, and we're a lot further away from that same high from the previous week. And QQQ, I mean, we're just sitting around right now, but SPY has been the one that's the sister, has been holding us up. So yeah, you can see how that 1030 candle is normally pretty extravagant, and it's going to take out um, 4 times out of 5 that previous candle high or low. Let's go back to this Monday, last Monday. 930 candle, 1030 takes out the previous high. 930 candle, 1030 candle takes out previous high. 930 candle, 1030 candle takes out the previous low. Inside range candle, which would have been a tough beat, especially for those going long. 1030 candle takes out the previous candle's high. So yeah, this is always happening. We just attack it on a much larger time frame. We are wanting this daily candle now to take out the previous candle day high, because this is constantly happening. Okay, we're now reaching our way back into this fair value gap in the form of a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It needs to be overtaken. We don't have a chance if we don't get past this. So, with that being said, let's observe. All right, I'm buying one more contract right here at 46, which puts me at an average of $53 per cent. paying close attention to this candle right here. You see how we're kind of bouncing back and forth between these two fair value gaps. I've already made clear what I want to see. So we got closure inside this area now. Let's see if this is just a wick that's created, the low of the candle. Still 45 seconds left. I want to see more expansion higher. Now it's retracing. Okay, we want to see closure over that candle. We want to see a really big white candle right here during this minute. The lady just woke up. I hope this thing gets to where it's going so that I can respond faster. Faster. Más rápido. Taking Spanish. That starts next week. Beautiful. Continue growing. Just continue sharpening yourself. Okay, now our contracts are back in the green, just above break even. This is now an inversion fair value gap. So now we want to see in the same sense of how price was, or this PD array was holding price down. Now you want to see a support price on the way up. This was the other imbalance that we were taking note of. Here's the previous, well, technically it's the same hour. This is the same hour's high right here. Just pointing these things out to you. Inversion fair value gap is what I just annotated, that pink line. Once again, want to see closure over that level. So now there's a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which we're digging into right now, what we just created inside of this inversion fair value gap. So it should be a very strong area to pump price, propel it back up. Should it be bullish? Gotta bring the bins back up after this, feed the dogs. Okay, now I'm watching as well because I can always be wrong. Where am I comfortable with allowing price to go before I'm no longer comfortable with holding this position? And I need to respect a stop loss. So 20%'s pretty normal, um, commonly said thing. However, in price action, you need to be aware of where these prices are going. Okay, so the fact that we are not really respecting both these fair value gaps right here, big concern for me right now. Closure underneath that level, I'm not too happy. I might fully sell this position, even if it does end up going to here. It doesn't do it in the fashion that you'd like to see. All right. The fact that we're reaching this low right here, very concerning. This candle right here at 11:15 is never, never what you want to see, especially in bullish price forms. So now the fact that we've closed underneath that, I'm just going to get out. I don't like this. I'm out. So the market value I got in was 177. I got at 137, so I lost 40 bucks. That's fine. I'm actually seeing this thing and only saying $20. But I'm going to keep that same contract here. Yeah, it has 10 minutes to really do something. Um, if it's going to do it, it's going to do it. But we already took out that previous candle's high. We didn't quite get to where we wanted it to, which is okay. It's fine. It might happen tomorrow or later in the day, even. But right now, I mean, this is what we were trading. It's not what I want to be in. I want to be in these runs right here that are very extravagant and live price action. This is just not it. Yeah. There goes that low, which now the contract's saying at about $40, which is yeah, terrible return. My average cost came out to 53 and I got out at 46. So, let's see. I did not take a screenshot, but I remember the numbers. Yeah, there you go. We have a new low of the hour. Um, there's a rule that ICT says, my mentor says 3 PD arrays and get out. One, we never got over this volume imbalance, which was super crucial. Two, this inversion fair value gap, and three, inside this inversion fair value gap, this BISI, right? So once this candle happened, I knew I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. Let's get out before more damage happens. Sure enough, very bearish price action right here. Now we're starting to get very lively down close candles. So the win in today was getting out before getting hurt. Right now, the contract's currently sitting at $35, and that is enough in itself. So today, what we were looking for in price did not happen. That does not mean it will not happen in the future. It just means we need to give it some time. I'm going to go ahead and clear out all these markings. That way they're not taking up the screen. There's a daily chart. Go to SPY on this now. SPY not really doing much either. I would love to see some more bullish action in that. All right, that's enough for me today.